Okay, now so the third one force we have to consider is your uplift pressure. Now what is meant by uplift pressure? Now here I have drawn a small figure of a dam. Okay, now water is striking on the upstream side of the face of the dam. So the water, when it strikes this face, so the water may sift from the bottom into the dam, or through the cracks water may get sipped into the dam. So because of this, what happens? Pressure is created on the dam and which is acting in upward direction. So this pressure is known as your uplift pressure. Now how to find out this uplift pressure? Now first of all I will draw a figure. Now suppose this is our dam. Okay, so the uplift pressure means pressure which is acting in upward direction. So we will get uplift pressure in this manner. Okay, this is the manner. So now this height will be rho w into capital H. This distance is h, and this height will be gamma w. Sorry, it is not rho, it is gamma w into small h. Here we are having height small h, and this is the pressure which is acting in upward direction. Now this is the first case where no drainage gallery is present. Where no drainage gallery is present. This is the first case. Now what is meant by drainage gallery? Now to avoid this seepage into this dam, galleries are constructed into the dam. Now suppose this is the first case in absence of drainage gallery. Now suppose if drainage gallery is present into the dam. So this is the drainage gallery which is present into the dam. These galleries are used for inspection, or another application is it is used to control this seepage into the dam. So when this drainage gallery is present into the dam, we will get figure in this manner. So now this will be this distribution of the pressure. Okay, so now here this pressure due to gallery will be also acting. So we are getting in this form. This is the figure. Now this much is the pressure. This much is the pressure which gets reduced. This much amount area. This amount of area means area of reduced pressure. Area of reduced pressure. So because of this much area gets reduced, so therefore this much quantity of uplift pressure will get reduced, and our dam will get less damage due to the seepage of water. Now if we have to find out the equation, if we have to find out the equation, so now we can find out the uplift pressure by finding out these ordinates. Now this one we know that is gamma w h, this one is gamma w into small h, and this one will be nothing but gamma w small h, okay, plus in the bracket gamma w capital H minus gamma w small h divided by 3. So this is that ordinate. So finding this ordinate, we can find out the uplift pressure acting on the dam. Okay, this is about the third force. Next, coming to our fourth force, that is earthquake force. Now in a site, if a dam is present and if it is an earthquake prone area, then we can't know that when earth will hit the dam. So we must be ready, or we must design the dam according to the criteria, keeping in mind to resist that earthquake. So we are considering this earthquake force. Now earthquake force, now this is the dam structure or dam figure I have drawn here. Now this earthquake force may hit the dam anywhere at any point. We don't know. It will hit at any direction at any point, and it affects the acceleration of the dam. This earthquake force is affecting or is impacting the acceleration of this dam. So this acceleration can be, this component can be divided either horizontally, acceleration either horizontally or in vertical direction. Okay, vertical direction. So in this acceleration force, we are going to study two cases. The first case is your effect of acceleration due to vertical or vertical acceleration. You can see vertical acceleration. So in this dam structure, vertical acceleration may act in downward direction or in upward direction. These are two cases, either downward or upward. So within these two cases, the vertical acceleration acting in the downward direction is the worst case. This will be the worst case, because if acceleration is acting downward direction, it will impact our dam at a higher rate. So we have to find out how to set the criteria for vertically. So we have to find out this vertical acceleration acting on the dam. So this is the vertical acceleration which is acting in downward direction. Okay, now this is the weight. W is nothing but it is the self weight of the dam. Now when this acceleration is acting in vertically downward direction, there is an inertial force of the dam which is acting in upward direction, so that our dam doesn't get collapsed. Okay, so now suppose, for example, consider if you are in a lift and if you are going in downward direction, if you are going down through the lift, then your body feels weight. It feels weight. You must have experienced it. Now in this similar way, suppose vertically downward acceleration is acting on the dam, then the dam will go in downward direction. So therefore this inertial force is acting in upward direction, and this self-weight W is acting, which helps the gravity dam, causing failure of a dam. Okay, so this inertial force is acting to restrain this acceleration in vertically downward direction. So this inertial force that is given by F, inertial force Fi, we are considering for vertical, so V. It is given as, now this inertial force is given as, so this inertial force is given as, that is FIV is given as mass into acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration, but we can replace this mass by W by G. W is self-weight and G is nothing but acceleration due to gravity into A. So which can be written as W by G, and this acceleration is vertical, so this is alpha V. So this is your inertial force. Now next we have to find out effective weight of the dam. Effective weight of the dam, which is been given by next we have to find out the effective weight which is given by W dash. So this effective weight is nothing but, now here we are having self weight of dam which is acting in downward direction and acceleration is acting in vertical downward direction. So effective weight will be nothing but W, this W minus, we are having inertial force, that is nothing but WG into alpha V, where this alpha V is given as KV. So where this alpha V is given as KV into G. This KV is nothing but constant. It is constant of fraction. You can take this value of KV from 0.1 to 0.2, and G we know the value. So therefore our effective weight W becomes W minus WG into KV into G. So this G gets cancelled. So effective weight is nothing but W in the bracket 1 minus KV. This is the effective weight of the dam, which we have to use for finding out the earthquake force. And this effective weight which we are having, that is W minus W by G into alpha V, it is always less than this effective weight. It is less than the self weight of the dam. So this is the first case. Now second case is your horizontal acceleration. Now consider this is the figure. Okay, now horizontally acceleration is acting in this direction and in this direction. So again there will be two cases, acceleration acting in this direction or acceleration acting in backward direction. So this second case is the worst case. Now earlier we have studied in a dam, if the water at the upstream face it is at still nature, means if it is not in motion, then we are having hydrostatic pressure distribution, drawing a triangle. But suppose if acceleration is acting in this direction, then the water on this upstream face will be in motion. Then we will get hydrodynamic pressure distribution, means we are getting a parabola. We are getting a, suppose at this till this height water is present, then we are getting this parabola, and this is the pressure which is acting on this face. So we need to find out the pressure force acting in this nature. So this is nothing but your hydrodynamic pressure distribution. Why? This acceleration is acting, so the water will not be in motion, so we are getting hydrodynamic pressure distribution. Again, similarly we have to find out the inertial force for horizontal. So that will be mass into acceleration. Mass means W by G, acceleration that is alpha h. So therefore this FIH can be written as WG. Acceleration here again similarly it is written as KH into G. KH is constant of fraction, GG gets cancelled, therefore inertial force for horizontal will be nothing but KH into W. KH into W. Okay, so this is the inertial force formula. Now next we have to find out this pressure force which is acting in this direction. So this pressure is nothing but your pressure hydrodynamic. PhD means it is pressure in hydrodynamic pressure distribution. So this PhD is given by formula 0.555 KH into gamma W H square. It is acting at 4H by 3 pi. So this 4H by 3 pi, its value nearly comes to 0.424 capital H, and this acts at from base. So whatever this PhD, that is pressure in hydrodynamic distribution, it is acting at 0.424 distance H. From bottom it is acting at a distance of 0.424 H. So this is about the second case, that is horizontal acceleration.